Estherism, or clairvoyance on demand. An Estherist is therefore someone able to predict, in quotation marks, future events. Chapter 13 from the book 9/11, The Accusation, Bringing the Guilty to Justice, by Slobodan R.Mitric, World Director of Reserve Police International. Estherism. In the bar of the Amsterdam Hilton, the heads of the world's two most powerful secret services are holding a secret meeting. The Hague Mouse is an Estherist. We cannot trust him, says CIA Director Bill Bennett. Estherist, what is that? Asks the director of the KGB, Vladimir Putin, surprised. An Estherist is a man who has certain foreknowledge that a terrorist attack or an assassination of a prominent figure like a king or head of state is about to happen. In fact, he knows that in advance because he himself is the organizer of such actions. Where did you get that? What? This doctrine or knowledge? Our current director of World Atomic Counter-Espionage graduated in secret with a doctorate on his subject at the Arizona College of Police Science when I was director of the FBI. Our common competitor, I am curious. It includes, among other things, that Estherists always operate in teams. The Estherist engages the assassin who trusts him. He convinces the hitman that the act he has to carry out is a sacred thing, and that if they expose him, he must not reveal who engaged him. When the Estherist has come so far, he engages informants who must attempt to elicit information from the killer about his plans. Then he tells the informants that it concerns a holy case and that this crime should be prevented, a crime that the Estherist himself has conceived. When he has managed to obtain irrefutable proof that the murderer or terrorist really intends to commit the crime, the Estherist contacts the intended victim, stating that his conscience and love for the victim cannot allow this crime to happen. The CIA director takes his glass of whiskey from the table and takes a few sips. His colleague gesticulates impatiently with his hand. Please, continue. The director of the Central Intelligence Agency puts his almost empty glass on the table. By saving the victim from a certain death, all doors in his country are opened wide for the Estherist. This expert will become head of the secret services of the country where he saved the life of the victim, so that the poor fellow and his country do indeed become victims. Interesting. How many Estherists are there out there? Oh, we don't know for sure, because not everyone can be an Estherist. The discipline is confined to highly trained people who must outdo the greatest actors working for the perfect crime. Can you guess at last who they are? Yes, the World Atomic Counterintelligence Agency director has even suggested in 1986 that he keeps thinking of the Hague Mouse. And the father of our current foolish top cowboy has put it down as complete nonsense. Of course, the Hague Mouse is his chief advisor. Where did you get that from? He once boasted that to one of our double agents. In our official service? No, in his own private service. The CIA director shakes his head. Ha! Now I understand everything. Thanks to his doing, criminology is not yet able to fight against Estherism. Not yet. But I hope the time has come to think deeply about it. Together, we'll probably manage. God help us. Otherwise, we're lost. End of part 2 of this advanced edition of Operation Twins.
In this chapter 13 on Estherism of the advanced edition 9/11, the accusation, bringing the guilty to justice, from the trilogy Operation Twins by Slobodan R.Mitric, a true crime that was presented at the Book Expo America 2011 in New York City, the name Putin is used only metaphorically. That is, it is not necessarily so that Putin personally took part in this conversation. It could also be that another director of the KGB took part in this conversation with Bill Bennett, who indeed was present. Thus, the name Putin is only meant metaphorically. It is furthermore not so that every director of the CIA works for Putin, although it is true that many are working for him, but it is not necessarily true that also Bill Bennett worked for the KGB. This chapter 13 on Estherism describes an attempt by both secret services to reach a form of cooperation in order to combat effectively against the greatest crime organization that exists, because Estherists have in the meantime successfully infiltrated in secret and security services all over the world, and no terrorist action, military coup, etc. occurs in which they are not personally involved. 9/11 in New York, Scotland, Lockerbie, the marathon in Boston, the plane disaster above the Ukraine, and the recent terrorist attack in Paris are all the work of Estherists. Thus, the name Putin is only used as a metaphor in an effort to stop the Estherists. Greetings, Slobodan.